Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
Audible lets you enjoy all your audio entertainment in one app. You'll always find the best of what you love or something new to discover.
The Audible app makes it easy to listen anytime, anywhere, while traveling, working out, walking, doing chores, and that's what I've been doing. I have been listening to the book 12 Rules for Life because, listen, I am a huge self-help person, and this one has been great, and I could just listen to it on my morning walk every morning. And so now I'm walking and I'm learning.
That's a great use of it. So try Audible free for 30 days. Visit audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500. That's audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500.
Gabrielle Union strived for the perfection her father always demanded. But as a dark-skinned Black girl, she never felt like she was enough. In our new series, Gabrielle Union, Bigger, Badder, Better, we'll tell you how she learned to embrace the things that scared her and let go of her need to be perfect.
Listen to Even the Rich on Amazon Music or wherever you get your podcasts.
Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Crappens, crappens, crappens. Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens?
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today on this very special Real Housewives of New Jersey season finale episode is the one and only Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
How have you been? What a crazy day. Happy Vanderpump Rules finale day to everybody. Happy Real Housewives of New Jersey finale day. Happy week before Teresa's wedding. Happy Real Housewives of New York reveal and Real Housewives of New York Legacy on Vacation reveal. It's a huge freaking week, you guys. So
yeah,
we're being fed by the Bravo gods. So hugs to everybody over there, okay?
Big time hugs. It is a big, exciting day because it's the New Jersey season finale, as you mentioned, or maybe I mentioned, or maybe we both mentioned. But before we dive into that bowl of meatballs, which is actually right behind Ronnie's head on this video, because this is a video too, we are at the end of our tour. We have 6 shows left, and then we are done for the year. If you miss it, you miss it. We're going to San Diego. We're going to Chicago. We're going to Columbus. St. Paul, Minnesota, Boston, and Foxwoods Casino. We end in Foxwoods Casino in Connecticut. It's going to be an amazing June. It's going to be a busy June. But, all these shows are heading into reunions. So I have to imagine that we're going to be covering several of these reunions on those shows. Hopefully the timing will work out properly. But it's going to be a great, great time. Go to watchwhatcrappens.com to get your tickets. Anyone who was at the DC show or anyone who was at the New York show last week, those were 2 enormous shows. They can attest that the energy of like 1,000 not Crappens, but Bravo fans in the same room is like something very special. So come be part of that. WatchWhatCrappens.com. Get your tickets. Now, also, the other thing that's happening is we're really ramping up our video. So guess what? Like this is another Crappens on demand. Go to patreon.com/WatchWhatCrappens. Check out the tiers that are available there. And if you feel so inclined, Go support on Patreon and you'll get access to the many things. One of the things you'll get access to are a whole shit ton of videos that we're doing. So we're here doing video for New Jersey and we're excited and we're going to dive right into it right now.
Let's do it. Let's do it, everybody. Wow. What an episode.
Wow.
Season finale. Okay.
Yeah.
And there was actually a couple of twists, which I have to say, I'm not really used to getting twists in Housewives shows because you know everything by the time the season starts airing. We've known this whole plot line this entire season. It's still really fun to watch. Just has the biggest goofballs of any the Housewives currently on the air. So I always love to recap it, even if we know everything that's going to happen. So I was really surprised to see a couple of twists in here.
I did not perceive any twists, so I'm excited to see what the twists are. Now, one twist was not that Danielle made a salient and well thought out point, right? Because I don't think I detected that twist.
I don't remember that.
I was gonna say I don't think that was a twist that was in the show, right?
No, I don't think so.
Wow.
What was it?
No, I said that she didn't make a salient point. I was like, the twist would be if she did. The twist would be if Danielle said something that actually made sense and did not come from like a well of idiocy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was paying attention to something I shouldn't have been. And that's why. So I'm a bad person and a bad recapper. And I'm sorry. But I'm back. So look. If she had said something smart, we all would have been shocked, and she would have been fired from the show, frankly, because she's not hired to be smart. She's hired to be a wackadoo. And God, what a great job. When she finally lost it at the end of the recap and just said, "You could kiss my fat, flat ass," and like turned around and grabbed her ass and, stormed out of there. And finally, she was confident enough to publicly fight and finish it and not run away. And she left and she said, "You know what? The new Danielle don't give a fuck." And I was like, yes, finally. She finally earned her stripes. I was so proud of her by the end of the season. I was like, you do belong here. You are bad enough. You are dumb enough. And gosh darn it, people hate you. You deserve to be a housewife.
I feel like there's a good amount of people that really like her.
Yes.
Well, I mean, look, I actually think she was a great addition.
I like her.
I think she was great. I also think that she says very dumb things that are not well thought out and generally extremely hypocritical. But you know what? Who hasn't done that? Am I right? I feel like that's me every day. So this was by the way, also, I really enjoyed the season finale. I think it's always a treat when an entire episode takes place at a party. That usually is a good sign. I thought this was hilarious. It was wild. It's interesting too, because they clearly had to make this the season finale because the wedding, since Melissa and Joe didn't go there was not, all it is just a frothy wedding. That's what it looks like. So they're like, I guess we make this the season finale and then rebrand the wedding as some sort of spinoff, maybe. I don't know.
Well, the wedding's just one episode, so I don't think she got the whole spinoff that she was planning, because I thought it was going to be like another Teresa goes to jail or whatever the hell that thing was. Joe gets his back shaved by Melania, whatever that show was.
Yeah.
But thankfully, it's only going to be one episode. Thank you, as Melissa would say. Thank you, baby Jesus, and her Teresa squeal.
Jesus. So let's start. So 12 hours after Dolores' Irish prohibition party. I love it. I just love an episode that like sets up like that. 12 hours after Dolores' Irish prohibition party.
Well, that's how they love to do it. It's all Sunset Boulevard or Memento, where you know the ending, and now you're figuring out, how did we get here? So this whole beginning is a bunch of flashbacks. So it's very sad music, right? Which I feel makes most sense when you're giving us shots of Jersey, because I feel like all the shots of Jersey are like the dump truck and like a broken down 7-Eleven or whatever. So I like the sad music. It works for me. But there's sad music, and then we see it Marge at home, and she's like, look at me at home, sipping iced coffee kind of sadly. And then we see a flashback that's like, you are a stupid little shit starter. And Danielle yelling, get your fingers out of my face. You don't listen to me. Don't come at me, bitch. And then we go to Rachel's.
And everyone's like reliving the trauma of last night's Irish party. And Rachel's just walking around her house, and we hear the echoey flashback of Danielle saying, you can kiss my big fat ass. And it's like very traumatic memories for all of them.
And then we go to Melissa's house, and she's by her pool, and she's in her sunglasses, and she's trying to look like she's really upset but glamorous. But right behind her, her dog has just shit and is now kicking the grass post shit. Or pee. Maybe it pee-pee. I hate the word shit. I don't know. You got me saying that word. Pooped. Let's just say it pooped. Or it made pee-pee, and now it's like kicking the grass behind it. And I was like, thank you, dog, for ruining Melissa's faux glamorous emotion shot.
Yeah, and Melissa's having memories it's like, Teresa called my husband, bin. And then we hear, so what? And she's like, the last 6 months, I was keeping this big secret because I was keeping everything in my power to keep this family together. Trauma echo.
And then we hear the trauma echo as Teresa tries to figure out how to use a long lighter in her house. She's like, click, 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 click. I'm not on. Click,
but
click.
Her trauma echo is probably something like, turn left at exit 13. Teen.
Oh, no,
you have arrived at your
that?
destination.
Which way is left at it?
I'll
My
take
left
potent
or your
potable.
left, Siri?
She just has random just things, like just artifacts from the day before that just go through her head. Just like moments from Jeopardy or like the doorbell ringing. Ding dong.
Yeah, any little thing that stresses Teresa out. Like trying to remember how to tell the mailman that they're supposed to take your mail that day. Like you have an envelope to send. What am I supposed to do, Mama?
So anyway, Dolores calls Melissa and she goes, you know what? I feel very bad about what happened in my house last night. Look,
my house. Let me stress the word my house, because now I'm the woman of the house. That's my storyline. So
yeah.
I'm sorry for what happened in my house. Go ahead, Ben. I'm so sorry.
I just don't know where you go from here. But here's what I'm thinking where you can go from here. You sit in that chair, and I'm going to go to Teresa and say you don't want to come to the wedding anymore. I don't know. Think about it over the next hour, because I think that's what I'm going to do by the end of the episode.
Yeah, she's like, are you going to go to the wedding? And Melissa goes, how can I go celebrate someone's marriage when they are the people trying to destroy mine? And then we see a close-up of her envy cup, her envy wine cup. I'm like, oh my God, Melissa. Okay, you're so depressed. You're hawking your shit off of fucking Zazzle for envy while your dog pees behind you. Okay, give it up.
Listen, go to the wedding. Okay, I'm on your side on this, but go to the wedding. She's saying, oh, how am I supposed to celebrate someone else's marriage when there are people trying to destroy mine? That's family. That's family, okay? Go there. Hey, how about this? Turnabout's fair play. Go to the wedding, make a drunk scene, ruin it all, have fun with it, knock over the cake, go crazy. Come on.
I've been to plenty weddings of people I hate. It's much more fun that way. I eat more at the buffet. I take shit off the tables. I'm like, ooh, love these candles. Just start taking shit home. Shit talk her to all her family members. I'm so glad that the herpes cleared up before the wedding.
It's all about, and then you find like the other people who like don't approve of it. It's all about doing that. And by the way, not to bring Summer House into this. This is one of Danielle's fatal flaws. When she went to that engagement party, she was just so on the nose. You got to be subtle. You got to find your allies in the crowd, and that's where it's really fun. Is when you finally find one, and you're like, yes.
Yeah, you can't be like, I wasn't told, man, like be all bitter about it. You need to be like, oh my God, guys, did she tell you yet? Yeah, she's getting engaged. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. And then walk away, so everybody's like, oh my God, they're only engaged because she's pregnant or something, like weave something.
Yeah, come on, Melissa, this is your moment to be like so evil and crafty at this wedding, for crying out loud.
Yeah,
by the way, why do I say for crying out loud so much these days? Have you noticed I've been saying that?
Because it's just like, I'm in Texas now. It's like a down home country thing. For crying out loud. So I did notice that the other day when you went, for crying out loud.
I've been doing it with my Padma voice a lot. I've been like, Gail got stuck in a drawing machine, for crying out loud. Maybe that's why. Maybe I'm just like talking like my Padma now.
So then we get a flashback to Melissa saying, and what happened, Teresa? You called my husband to talk to him about me, Teresa. And then we get Louis' crazy face. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I was like, is there coke in the air? Is God spilling cocaine down from the sky, and Louis like in a video game just trying to catch all the little dots before they drop to the ground? What is he sniffing?
Did they just put a whole bunch of rocks underneath those Irish dancers' feet? What's going on?
Those poor little baby toddlers and tiaras pageant cloggers. What the fuck is going on over there? We'll get to that.
I wanted more of that, to be honest. I'm like ready for their spinoff. You know, like Vanderpump Rules, but with like traditional Irish dancing. I'm
Little
into
bitch
it.
clogged right into my way when one of the stars was coming up the driveway and I broke her goddamn knees. And I don't regret a thing about it, Mum.
It's like that what's that like that sub community or what's not sub community but like the travelers
Subculture?
the subculture travelers. You know what are the travelers?
What kind of travelers? Like traveling?
There's like a thing. I
carnival
saw it.
people?
Okay, no, I saw it on 2021. There's like a subculture of like Irish. It's like an Irish American subculture of like grifters called like the Travelers or something, and they go and they
Not
do
gypsies.
No,
I don't think you're allowed to say
I don't think
gypsy
you're-
anymore.
yeah,
Sorry.
I think that term is outmoded, outdated.
Yeah, I don't know what the new term is though. Yeah, so please feel free
Roma,
to educate me.
I'm really glad we're going down this path. I apologize.
Yeah, what the hell?
Anyway,
What
it's
are you
a
taking
fun-
me down some random road to get canceled? Okay?
I'm gonna make Ronnie say.
You're trying
say
to
the
make
wrong-
me come up with
wrong
every
words.
offensive word. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm really glad I gave like a smidgen of something I don't really know about, but something I saw in 20 years ago. So anyway,
Yeah, people already think
They
we're
should have
getting
a show.
divorced because we were
They should have a
disagreeing on
show.
yesterday's summer house recap. We're already taking a lot of shit. People are like picking sides, like, no, Ronnie sucks, and then they're like, Ben sucks. Guys, we're not getting divorced, and we both suck. Can we just all agree on that? Okay, we love each other.
by the way, I just also want to clarify if I've completely mischaracterized Irish travelers and they're a subculture, and I'm like they're grifters.
you haven't
It's like a-
characterized them at all. You
No, I literally said they're
have not said a
grifters.
thing.
I literally said they're all con artists, and like
Oh.
it's totally possible that like that's so wrong. And I've just been like, this subculture, their defining features that they're grifters. That's so wrong. So I will do more research on Wikipedia before I come back with any
educate
information on this
yourself, for
topic.
fuck's
Educate
sake,
yourself.
man.
That's what they say. Educate yourself. Okay.
I don't have time to educate you on Irish grifting. Okay, it's
I
not
don't
my
know what I'm talking
responsibility.
about, everyone. I'm sorry.
We don't. Neither one of us do. It's been a long ass week, and let me just—it's not done because we've got Vanderpump Rules coming up still. Bravo fans' brains are just fucking scrambled after this week. There's so
Yeah.
much going on, Bravo. There's so much to think about. There's so much to be enraged about. There's so much to be happy about. I don't even know what to do. So let's get back to it. So Melissa's
Yeah.
screaming about her husband. Louis looking crazy. And then back to Melissa on the phone with Dolores. She's like, I don't need to deal with people trying to bring me down, even when they come in the shape of your family. It's like, okay, Melissa, okay. Wow. We've seen this for 12 years or however the fuck long you've been on here, okay? No one cares. But you know what I do love? A good rewind. Rewind. What happened
Irish
before
dancers.
Melissa's dog peed in her scene?
Irish dancers who are possibly part of a vibrant community that is not revolving around grifting. That's what we see next.
Yeah.
So now it's Dolores saying Paul is so proud of where he comes from. He wants to bring Ireland to the boys because they did not experience it in the way that we did. I'm like, so are you going to turn your apartment into an old castle? Like, how is this really going to happen?
Yeah. So then she walks around the house and it's all decorated and there's caterers and there's a balloon arch that spells stuff out, and Dolores just walks up and grabs one of the L's and just tries to bite into it. She's like, ow, why did that pop in my face? This was supposed to be focaccia. Are we making letters out of Mylar now? Who would do that in a true Irish home? All right.
It's a horrifying thing. It's when you expect a focaccia and it's not focaccia, that can be a very disarming moment.
I've never seen a party decorated with words that weren't made from focaccia. I mean, this is what it's like getting used to being an Irish wife.
By the way, I just want to say, I'm sorry, I can't give this up, but I now have to clarify because I put it out there. Like, literally, the grifting thing, I looked it up. It has nothing to do with it. So I really do apologize.
What is it? What is it?
No, Irish travelers are actually like an indigenous Irish population. And so I just like totally was like obnoxious and being like, they're all
shit. Well, I'm
grifters.
glad you did look that up.
Yeah, that would have been terrible.
Yeah, that would have gotten
Well, look,
ugly.
we learned things, guys.
So they're serving things like shepherd's pie and potato salad. I was like, are you allowed to claim potato salad? I don't think so. You know what makes potato salad? Hellman's, okay? And who gets to claim Hellman's? I think America. Let's have a fight. I'm ready. I'm down for a potato salad fight.
I love the idea of claiming potato salad, just as like a way of living your life. Like, I claim potato salad.
That is literally how I live my life. I get all hot and bothered, and then I'm like not dealing with it. I put it in the fridge. And I just like let it chill. And then once it's chilly enough, I'm like, you know what? Now I'm depressed. I'm going to roll around in a vat of mayonnaise. Boom. Pasta salad is a lifestyle.
Pasta salad. Now, can you claim Snicker bar salad?
No, I will not claim that. That's I'm a binge eater, and even I won't claim that shit. I'm sorry.
I'm supposed to. So yes, I'm gonna try it, and we're gonna see if I claim it or not. But yeah, that's a tough one right there. Anyway. I'm Looney Tunes this morning. So they're setting up this party, and this is what Dolores is saying. Did you say this already? This is my coming out party, okay? I'm the woman of the house now. Now I get to show the whole crew my home, and Paulie and I as a couple doing something together. And by that, I mean telling the waitstaff if they need anything, they can go into drawers, but not Irish drawers.
Now I get to show them my house. I'm like, you know what you get to show them? Your stairs. Okay? What the hell? First of all, Frank's going to be traumatized, okay, when he sees all those stairs. I'm traumatized. Yes. Up and down, up and down, up and you guys need to move. And I'm glad her end card said they're looking for a house. Because that's some bullshit. Nothing says, like, we're not going to stay together, like living in a house like that, because you can't grow old together in that house. It's too much stairs. You can't get to the kitchen without going upstairs. Who designed that?
It's a lot of stairs. But they do have, by the way, a very nice rooftop deck, because this entire scene is, like, up there on that deck. And the entire time, it's, like, this beautiful panoramic view of New York City in the background. I was like, aw. Yeah. It's, like, nicer than the smokestacks we're used to.
Yeah, so, the smokestack is below. Dolores is like, I'll be right there to take a picture. That's down some more stairs. But you know what? I'm allowed to say that now because this is my home.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
From Wondery comes a new series, Flipping the Bird, Elon versus Twitter. A story about what happens when the richest man on the planet decides to acquire a powerful social media company in the name of free speech. But does he have what it takes?
It started off promising.
Or is this all just about Elon?
He's essentially mad that his tweets aren't performing as well as he would have expected them to.
It really just felt like, okay, this really is just a platform being ruled by a dictator who does things on his own whims.
And what will be left of Twitter by the time he's done?
Basically, my entire team was gone. By the end of it, infrastructure was just completely gutted. He'll tweet a thing and then everyone's like, we got to work on that now because he tweeted it.
I'm supposed to believe this man is a genius.
It just felt like everything was kind of descending into chaos.
Follow Flipping the Bird wherever you get your podcasts. Hey, Prime members, you can listen to episodes ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today.
So we go to the little Irish school of dancer girls with toddlers and tiaras wigs. I can't stress enough how disturbed I was by it. Well, I don't know why. And you know what? My niece is in cheer, and I'm disturbed by that shit too. It's weird. They have like these big, it's like little girls with these gigantic eyelashes and these like skin tight little outfits, and their hair is like all blown out, and they've got like insane makeup on their face. I'm like, you are my baby. You wipe your fucking face off. I thought this was about cartwheels.
But they're old. I think they're older than they look, because I paused and I was like, I think that one girl there's like 18, and they're also, I have to say,
really?
it kind of looked like they all had like hidden cameras in their wigs, right? Like they were so tall. I kind of felt like they had like an old fashioned camcorder in there.
I don't know what the wigs were going for. Like the wigs were all blonde. Look. I think it was 100% blonde, and it was like Western. Like ladies in old Western movies, like with the big poofy dresses and then the real high curly hair.
As someone who clearly is an expert on Irish culture, I was going to say, I thought it's
I literally just Googled Irish culture, so
No, I think it's a traditional look, but I mean, I think I've really ruined all my credibility when it comes to like weighing in on traditional Irish things.
Listen,
so I'm just gonna.
We don't have credibility. Neither one of us have credibility. We're on Watch What Crappens. Don't worry about that. You can't ruin something that was never there. Okay.
I don't know. The point is that those are very tall presentations of
tall-headed
hair
children.
and vibrant makeup.
That was tall-headed children. I don't approve of it. Okay,
I was entranced by
Can
the
children
dancing,
just
though.
be children again? Let's reintroduce parks. That's what I say. Okay, so then everyone starts arriving, and this lady is telling someone what food that they're having because Dolores. Oh, it's Marge. Marge is like, oh my God, I can't believe this. This is amazing. Now this is how to throw a party. I can't wait to go upstairs. Are these Irish stairs? What are these? What is this food? Are these Irish type potatoes? And the lady goes, these are bacon wrapped around Irish nothing. And
Oh no, these should stuffing.
Bacon wrapped nothing. What the fuck is that? That sounds like you can get in Texas, I'm sure. Bacon wrapped nothing. Just a shell of bacon. I know, but that's what I'm saying. I watched it like 3 times. Like, what the fuck is this woman talking about? Before I realized she was saying Irish stuffing. Bacon or Irish stuffing.
Bacon wrapped nothing. It's just a loop of bacon.
Yeah, it's just like a bacon purse. Like they put the bacon around a mold and then they fry it. And you've just got bacon wrapped in nothing, you know?
Well, there's all sorts of, to us, strange named things from that part of the world, like bubble and squeak. What's squeak?
I'm not saying shit about Ireland. Are you kidding? The whole country's just gotten rid of us already, and we're only in minute 10. We're only in minute 20.
I'm like, what else can I pull out that's just gonna alienate all our Irish listeners? So,
right. So Melissa and Joe come, and Melissa's like, I decided I was born in the 20s. Like, this is my era. I'm like, yeah, you're about to go through the Great Depression. Like, I feel like this couple is always on the verge of just
a lot of flapping.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of walnuts with, cash piles under them. They're just like shuffling things around, about to lose everything at any moment.
I mean, I do feel like they would have gotten caught up in the Florida speculation boom of the 20s, so it does make sense.
Yeah. So
you're like, I don't know.
I'm gonna let it pass. And I know that the Irish travelers are like, really? Even we got that one, you fucking moron.
Oh, so listen, play it Calvin Coolidge. So anyway, Melissa's doing that thing where she's like, I feel like in another life I should have been born in the 20s. Melissa would have been the worst in the 20s. And I say this as someone who is generally pro Melissa. I think she would have been a very annoying person in the 20s. I feel like she would have been like, have you heard of jazz? It's amazing. And you're like, yes, Melissa, we've heard of jazz.
I feel like she would have been like the worst in like bread lines, because she would be like going through the bread line, and then she'd take the bread and then go to her own little shop and like write envy on it. And they're like, wait a minute, you didn't make this bread. She's like, yes, I did. It's $500. They're like, no, I think this is a free bread from down the street that you just put your own name on. She's like, nope, it's $500 bread.
I just am imagining Teresa in the 20s, and it's even worse. I just imagine her going and just like disrupting all the smart people at Dorothy Parker or whatever. Like the
Dorothy Parker's vicious circle.
Teresa's like,
is someone sitting here?
It's like, oh God.
I don't like Gertrude Stein because she was a patriot and now she's an expatriate. That's not right.
Gertrude Stein, fuck Melissa. Don't tell anybody.
So then the Fudas come, and John Fuda, I do have a lot in common with him, because he gets up there and he goes, God, I feel like Rocky Balboa coming up those stairs. I was like, thank you. Thank you for complaining about the fucking stairs. Somebody had to say it.
Yeah. And then Jen Fessler arrives, and now she's someone who's she's actually from the 20s. She matches the theme. So she's like, hello, I'm Jen Fessler. I've arrived here from 1922. And then
she has a lot of facial expressions like the 20s. She'll be like, hello, it's me, Jen Fessler. Where's Tony? Tony Soprano. Anybody seen him? What a guy. Fucked him real good.
Well, I fucked his ancestor in the 20s. It was wonderful on a wooden barrel. So
His name was also Tony. I mean, what do you think? What else would it be?
Have you ever heard of things called refrigerators? They're brand new. So, so then Frank and Brittany show up. Brittany is struggling with the 1920s theme. She's sort of doing a Chicago look, or she's sort of doing a Christina Aguilera music video.
Brittany, why are you wearing a sombrero? Yeah.
They said to dress like it was Mexico.
No, it was 1920s, Brittany. Okay.
So Margaret's like, oh, look at Jeffy Fessler. Okay, he looks so Irish. Look at him. He's a little Irish, adorable Fessler. And then Frank is like, hello, everyone. How everyone looks beautiful. Great time to be here in Ireland. Wow, why no one tell me? Why did anyone tell me it's Ireland then?
He tells Joe Gorga, you look like a 12-year-old paper boy. And then Jackie, Jen, and Bill are talking, and Jen's like, oh my God, guys, because she comes up to the tall-headed little girls clogging. Who this is their plan for everybody who arrives. They get clogged at. Is that supposed to make me feel welcomed? I mean, it's a very loud dance. Like maybe some hugs or like some glasses of champagne. I don't need little girls kicking hardly at me.
It's foot applause.
Well, that's one way to put it. But they're just like stomping their feet at you as you come in. And Jen's like, is this a river dance? I almost want to learn how to do that. I need to take something out, the edge off that. Any of you got Coke? The weed? Come on, kids. Give me some whiskey. Pull some whiskey out of that hair. It's a tall head. You got to be hiding something in that wig, little girl.
They're like, look at that disheveled drug addict.
Mommy, there's a disheveled drug addict down here trying to take the whiskey out of my wig.
So one of the little girls
let's
does
clog
take
the sobriety
out.
into her. Clack, 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 clack.
Oh, funny.
So, no, I'm done. I said it. I said what I had to say.
So she's like, give me that whiskey. And one of them takes the bottle out of her hair and she gives it to her. She's like,
Oh, yeah, I love what whiskey does. I don't remember anything about Ireland except that I had fun, baby.
So Bill goes, you want me to hold? He goes, you want to hold the drink? She's
No, I want to drink the drink. Stop on the stairs.
She just like downs the whiskey, so we know it's going to be an extra Jen kind of a night.
Yeah, exactly. So Melissa's asking Rachel if she's spoken to Danielle's, and Rachel's like, she's like, yeah, I mean, we were playing nice at Teresa's shower, and then Margaret goes, but she was also crying. She was crying. There's always crying with this one. Did you see it? She was crying.
You know, and I don't believe it's just about her brother. You know, it's got to be about something else, the crying. You know what I'm saying? Because she gets very pouty, very childish. It's not about her.
And so Danielle comes in, and she's like,
Sláinte, everybody, sláinte.
Danielle is the only housewife in hundreds of housewives that have come along over the year that can blow out a microphone. Do you notice that she does that?
I did notice. Her audio was blown out this entire
multiple
evening.
times. Like they can't, and it's happened multiple times on the season. Like they cannot get a read on her voice. You know, and I'm a very loud person, so I get it. And I'm like, you go. I mean, to blow out a professional microphone this consistently, wow,
it's impressive. So Rachel's like, I want to know what affected her so deeply in Ireland. And Marge's like, well, I don't believe it's just about it, but you know what I'm saying? She acts very pouty and childish, as I said about 10 seconds ago. And furthermore, I just want to point to exhibit A, B, C, and D. She cried. She cried at a shower. Is that mortifying for her? She cried at a shower.
So Danielle just comes in yelling slancha, and then she tells us, you know, because she's very innocent. She fits right in with Teresa and Jen, who are just always innocent victims. They never understand why anybody's mad. A very important ingredient to a good housewife. So she's like,
I don't know what the dynamic's going to be like tonight with Margaret and Rachel, because there's always tension. So I'm like, oh, God, where's it going to come from today? Who's going to be coming for me today?
You literally start it every time.
Every single time. So now there's So now there's some shots. Again, we get another variation on there he is with look at this. Hey, look at this, guys. Look at this. Clase Azul, guys.
Yeah, another appearance by Clase Azul. Killing it on Bravo this year, guys.
Huge.
You are killing it.
Huge. So Gorga's like, hey, don't chill the shots too much. And Frank goes, hell, why you guys gotta listen to the smallest guy here? Just joking with you. Dolores.
Well, it's the first boys' night for Polly. Polly, you missed us trying to get Joe to talk to Teresa. And then we see a clip of that, and Joe's like, oh, yeah? Because in Ireland, my sister brings up my daughter. I don't want my children to be raised with hate. I'm like, yes, that's exactly what was happening, Joe.
Yeah.
Teresa complaining that Antonia didn't come to a Sweet 16 was basically like raising her to be a little terrorist. It was totally the same thing. It was totally a hate crime, Joe.
So Bill's like, but don't minimize it because these moments only happen once in life. It's kind of like the first time you take it up I don't know what the right word to use in this situation is, but let me just say they're special moments and you don't want to overlook them.
So Melissa's talking to Danielle and she's like, hello, how are you? You good? And she's doing that squint thing like, she hates her because Melissa has known what's coming this whole season, we find out later.
Yeah.
So Danielle's like, yeah, I just saw you at the shower. She goes, yeah, but they told me you cried at the shower. So were you crying at the shower? Why were you crying? She's like, yeah, well, but it's because Louis' sister was talking about a brother, that, I got a brother, that, someone said something about a sister that I got, you got a sister-in-law, then like a brother, then a sister, and then like some people got brothers-in-laws and some people got sisters-in-laws, and I like law and order. Like it just was all coming together right then. I just didn't know what to do, so like it was a trigger. I was triggered. That's what it was.
And then Rachel pops up out of nowhere. She's like, but I feel like in Ireland you were off. Like, was it because of the brother thing? Is that why? Do you need new tiles? Because I can help you out there. Food or tiles.
She literally just said that's what it was. Pay attention. Police. So Danielle's like, yeah, like there was a couple of things that bothered me. Like whatever we had it escalated between you and me. And like it was like coming at me every which way with everybody. And Rachel's like, look, you have to understand, I have a relationship with Margaret. So you also have to give me a fair chance at saying that if I did something about Jen Eaton, if I said something about Jen Eaton, you would have told her. You would have told her that.
I wouldn't have. I absolutely wouldn't. I really wouldn't have. I really would not have told her whatsoever. It's like, okay, bullshit. You would have told literally every single person, as you have all season long. Like literally, the pizza guy comes over. So a pizza guy came over and he gave me a pizza and I tipped him $4. You know what he said to me? He said, thanks. Can you believe it? I don't know. I just thought you guys should know that.
I said, you know what? You want another tip? Here's one. Melissa makes out with people in the back seats. Go to her house. There's a tip.
Yeah.
All right. So Rachel's like, if there's something that's a sensitive subject, I need to give Marge a heads up because we're very close friends. Okay. Like, you didn't make that up and you're being fed that by somebody. Like, I just wanted to know what was being talked about, So just throw whoever told you under the bus and stop trying to take it all on yourself.
And so Danielle's like, yeah, but same as you went and to tell her that my friends told me to have a heads up. Wait.
Well, she's saying, listen, my friends, she's like, look, my friends told me to be careful of Marge. That's it. And she goes, yeah. And they told me the same thing. They were telling everybody to be careful of Marge. And she's like, great. All right. You know what? I'm going to put that behind us. All right. I want us to be good. Can we just be good? I just always wanted a relationship with her. I never wanted to fight with her. I never wanted this fiction. I'm sorry to come into your confessional session, but it's not fiction, it's friction. She's like, wow, all right. This is actually a docuseries.
Oh, all right, okay.
Danielle, a really good way to not fight with Rachel is to not fight with Rachel. Because all you're doing is getting mad at her over it's just stupid shit that you're doing too. So Rachel's like, I want to move on. I want to move forward and have a friendship with you because I really want to have more idiots in my life. I want to show my newly adopted son how not to be when he grows up.
So they make up, and Danielle's like, yeah, but they keep on her about Ireland. There's like, but there was something going on in Ireland with you. I was genuinely concerned for you. Genuinely. Like, really? Were you?
Yeah.
So Danielle's like,
about? Yeah, well, some things happened in Ireland, but I'm good now.
Melissa's like, so things that happened that we know about or that we don't know about? She's like, just things that waited on my mind, all right? That's what happened in Ireland. And she's like, so it's nothing something we don't already know it. Melissa's like, can we just do this so I can yell at Teresa already? You fucking nincompoops. They've tried to set you up with this storyline for an entire year. No one will do anything about it. Can I just yell at Teresa? Why are we pretending?
Like, come on, stop beating around the bush. I know what they told you. It's literally in the news. Like, it's on TMZ, okay? So Danielle's like,
there's a lot on my mind because I'm still trying to navigate the best way to tell Melissa the rumor. And Melissa is not someone I want to hurt. She's my friend. Like, what do you do in this situation? You're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Well, first of all, A, you literally begged to be put in this situation, and the moment you were, you're like, oh no, I can't believe I'm in this situation. B, then like, I don't know, this is such bullshit. Like, what do I do? Like, I think you just say, what do? You say, I mean, I don't think I would do it. If I'm her friend, actually, I don't know what I would do.
You immediately call her and say, hey, listen, I hear that people are spreading that you're cheating on your husband. You should probably fucking know that. I mean, they put it on camera. Jen sat me down on camera and told me, you're going to find out. So what do you want me to do?
I feel like that's my instinct, but I also feel like if I do that, I'm literally carrying out Jen and Teresa's wishes. So then, like, as a friend, do I not carry out their wishes?
They're obviously telling me this because they want me to say it on camera. So I'm calling you right now to tell you what they did.
As a friend, she should have actually just brought Melissa to lunch earlier, not do it at the finale party. So,
or immediately call immediately call Melissa into the room at that moment. It's like, see something, say something, ring a bell. You know what I mean? When Jen's like, okay, fine. The rumor that Marge's friend Laura said was, it's like, ding, ding, ding. Melissa, come here. They're talking shit about you saying you cheated on your husband. Because it's already on TV, you know?
Yeah.
So if you're really someone's friend, you don't wait till the finale party. Now, if you're a real housewife and the producers are making you wait till the finale party, this is what you do. But otherwise...
Actually, if you're a real friend, when the rumor gets told to you, you say, that rumor is clearly bullshit, you know? Because there's two things going on here. One thing that's going on here is, oh my God, can you believe that Margaret would spread a rumor like this about her friend Melissa? So it's like, oh, this is damning for Margaret. That's like one angle that they're trying to push. But then there's the other angle, which is Margaret said this, and therefore it's true. Oh, because Laura said it. Therefore it's true. Can you believe this about Melissa? And they kind of can't keep their story straight of which angle they want to take. But as far as Danielle, if she were a real friend, she would have said, like, that's a bullshit rumor and you guys shouldn't believe it. But she didn't say that at all. She actually believed it right away.
Yeah, and she would have tattletailed. Because that's what you do. So then, especially, you already know there's rats in the house because you called somebody a rat. So who cares? If you know that's the name of the game, then rat. Okay?
Yeah.
So then Melissa does this thing where she's like, let's get a drink because this is an Irish party and it means everyone must be drunk. And she does that Kyle Richards voice. Did they really become friends in real life? Because it's weird to see Melissa kind of imitates people that are more famous than her, like Teresa. She does a lot of Teresa imitations, and Kyle. She's kind of pulling on a little Kyle. I just spotted a little bit of it, and it's just a warning and a request. Please don't. We only need one of Kyle. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
So here's someone that we could use about 10 more of. Frankie Jr. He shows up looking so cute, and then now at long last, Teresa and Louis arrive, and Frank goes up to Paul, and he goes, "Let me tell you something. I have a new outlook on Irish people." Oh well, congratulations. I'm glad that this party, with its lack of focaccia, has changed your worldview about the Irish people.
But you know why specifically? Would you know what specifically changed his mind? He goes, "This food." Wow, I got a whole new outlook. Potatoes changed your outlook. Like, it's literally 10 different kinds of potatoes. And it just goes back to my original point in life, which is potatoes heal. Okay?
Potatoes heal.
Stop villainizing potatoes, America. I've had it.
I also love the bacon wrap nothing. So, so
Louis and Tree come in, and Teresa's like, "We're getting married." So they come in.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, you okay, Joe? And Joe's just like doing that thing where he's like looking at a little bunch of little gnats flying around. You know, he's like, huh? Like he's clearly bothered. He's turning red. His veins are already popping out. Louie's orange. I mean, not orange, purple.
Purple.
And he's sniffing around.
He looks like a blood orange. He and Joe is like sitting in the corner surrounded by the guys, like he's like one of the gang leaders in West Side Story, you know? He's like sitting on like an apple crate or something. And so Louis comes in and he's like hugging people. He's like, hey, how's it going? Hey, good to see you. Good to see you. And he like hugs everyone, but then he totally ignores Joe Gorga. He doesn't say hi, doesn't look at him, just totally goes right by him.
But Joe ignores him too. He doesn't like say, hey, you know, or they're like giving a face off, like who's going to say hi. But Louis has shown up tonight. Both of them have shown up ready to fight, obviously, right? So it's like, it's not who's going to be nice first, it's who's going to be a dick first. Like that's what we're waiting for. Like who's going to start it? So Tree's kissing people, and Joe's giving dirty, crazed looks, and Fuda's forcing shots down Louis' throat, you know, because Fuda's another one of the guys. Yeah. And then Joe's like, oh, yeah, you know what? This guy, he just, like, starts ignoring me, and then he keeps ignoring me, and then you know what he does? He ignores me some more. What do you do with a guy like that, huh? What do you do with a guy like that?
And then, meanwhile, out on the balcony, Jennifer Fessler has cornered Frankie Jr., and she's like, Frankie, I have to introduce you to my daughter. She looks just like Meadow Soprano. Okay, how old are you? How old are you, Frankie? And he's like, 23. She's like, oh yeah, you got a phone? You got a phone, Frankie? You got any pictures? You got any nudes? You just need to show me. I gotta show it for a friend. Come on, Frankie, show it to your old friend Fessler.
So then let's see. Joe's still mad. You know, Joe's telling people he's had enough. And Frank's like, yeah, it looked like he was a little lot distant over there, huh? And Joe's like, yeah, you know what? I know exactly what he's doing, and I don't respect that, right? I don't respect it. Well, you don't say hi either, you little weirdo. Stop crying. Stop fucking crying all the time, Joe Gorga. Jesus, like constant stream of tears from Gorga. So then Teresa's like, hi, Melissa. So at least she says hello. And then more slancha yelling, guys doing shots.
More shots.
And then Jen, Bill, Louie, and Tree are kind of all talking. And Bill's like, I know it's hard. Is it, Joe? Is it? So I'm thinking in my mind. But listen, Louie, I know that it's hard. But family issues are just something we have to deal with in order to sit on a couch in front of the bed and put our hand up on the back of it and just go,
It's not easy to sweep whatever issues you have under the rug. All that sweeping just gets you so hot and bothered, and next thing you know, you're glistening with sweat from the broom. Sweep things under the rug, and you take off that shirt, and the light hits you so, reflecting little sweat reflections on the walls. It's hard, Louie. It's so hard.
So Louie's like, well, you would think that a blood brother would show up and say, sorry. So Louis is clearly not his peaceful, forgiving, Buddha-loving, Lowe's Buddha in the backyard having kind of peacenik tonight, okay? He's just come to start war. So Teresa's like, listen,
I don't care about that, all right? I'm in a love bubble. I just want to be happy, all right? I don't want to fight.
But Louis doesn't want to hear that because he's so close to getting exactly what every fucking abusive person wants, which is to cut you off from your family. So he's purple and angry, and he's like, you want to be happy? Well, you're not happy when it comes to being around your brother.
She's like, I am happy. He's like, no, you're happy right here in this little space right here. You're happy here, okay? And Jennifer's like, we're happy for you, okay? We're your chosen family. We're going to have fun, and whoever wants to celebrate you celebrates you, and that's it, baby. And meanwhile, Melissa's yelling at Joe Gorga about his hat. She's like, come on, Joe, you got to keep your hat on. This is a character party, okay? This is a party that represents an era where I really would have thrived. I would have been the J-Lo of 1927. Come on, you got to stay in character.
So Fuda's still feeding shots to Louis, and Teresa's like, no more shots. It's got to be ready for the wedding. And then Jen and Danielle are talking about like how drunk they're going to get. And Danielle's like,
oh, yeah. Listen, I wanted to tell you before, but listen, I'm going to go to Melissa with what you told me. I got to do it.
Jennifer's like, don't do that. I would never, ever want you to do that to Melissa and make her feel embarrassed at a party, baby. Don't do that.
I would never tell you something on camera for you to bring it up on camera and embarrass Melissa in front of a group of people. Never, baby, never. I would never do it.
Jen's the only one that naturally fits into this theme.
Jen is like, she is truly from this. I'm surprised she's not walking around with like a little tray of cigarettes strapped to her shoulders.
Her car pulls up. It's like an actual car from the 20s.
I know. She's like, hey, mister, don't say anything. Don't, I beg of you, Danielle. I would never, ever want you to say anything to Melissa right now and embarrass her in public, baby.
And then she tells us, she's like,
don't you think that I wanted to tell her? But after everything I went through, for me to do that to another family.
you brought it up on TV. You are doing this. I love that you're pretending that you're not doing. You are literally the one doing this. And you're doing it on national TV where everybody can see you. You're not even trying to say you're hiding your hands. You're just saying you're hiding your hands.
Yes, Jennifer, who is like the first one to accuse people of, you've been digging, Margaret, you went and you dug up information. When Margaret, like there was like actual video all over the internet of Louis' crazy video, and Margaret was like, oh, I saw this video, it's crazy. Look at her digging up information. And then this woman goes and she meets up with Laura, like actually goes out of her way and then brings it actively on camera to have Danielle plot it. It's a hilarious classic Jen Aiden move.
Yeah. So, they're saying, well, I shouldn't do it. I am going to do it. No, you shouldn't do it. No, I am going to. And so Jen's like, well, I was only telling you that to justify the fact that all this stuff is coming from Margaret. That's the only reason I haven't said it on TV. And Danielle's like,
yeah, but if that friend is talking, this is what I figure. She's telling you and calling you over to her house. It's only a matter of time before she's really going to wrap her vengeance up. And if someone was saying that about me, I'd want a chance to defend my goddamn self and say, listen here, bitch.
And she's like, okay,
do it. Do what you have to do.
Right, which by the way was also what Margaret was saying about Louis. What that's how Margaret was spitting what she said to Teresa about Louis. She was like, "Listen, I'm just trying to figure out what the hell's going on with this video so that we can get ahead of it." So now Jennifer's trying to do this too. So
yes.
Or Danielle's trying to do this, and Danielle's like, sorry, not Jen.
I don't want to hurt Melissa. I don't want to believe the rumor is true, even though I believed it the moment that I heard it. I just want you to tell you, hey, this is what your friend is talking to. This is what one person says that your friend is saying to her right now. That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, so she promises that she's just going to say she heard it from Laura, and she won't even bring Jen or Teresa into this, right?
So she's going to die.
Nobody knows.
She is like she's like, let me take this sword from you, and I will die on it. Don't you worry. I'll fall on the sword. But it's so
stupid because everybody already knows that they had a meeting with Laura, and they already know that that's where this information would have come from. It would have come from Tree and Jen. They've already had the meeting with Laura. This show is literally the dumbest thing, and I just love every minute of this.
I think it's so funny.
Show.
I'm like so surprised that there are people that are like, this season's so boring. Like, I think it's such a funny season.
I do too. So they're all doing shots, and then Jen, Tree, and Dolores are talking and just partying together, who cares? And then Melissa's like, oh my God, look at little Frankie over there. He looks like Leonardo DiCaprio from the Titanic. And Joe, Joe looks like everybody, like the little Italian friend from that movie.
I was surprised that we didn't cut over to Frankie Catania and just like Jen Fessler's knee. Like we're just looking at him under Jen Fessler's knee, and it's like, Miss Fessler, you trying to seduce me? Sure I am. I'm not even going to try to hide it. Get over here, kiddo. You got a girlfriend?
Just trying not to be offended. He's like, little Italian friend, huh? That's real funny. Yeah, I'm sure every short man loves his wife publicly mocking his short hood. Melissa. Yeah. Sounds great. By the way, do you believe Melissa was making out with the guy in the back of a car? No. Have we ever discussed this?
I don't believe that. I don't know. I just don't believe it. I don't think she would do it. I don't know. I don't think she would be as careless to be making out with a guy in a car where the door is unlocked and an assistant can open it up, or whoever was could then see them. I just don't see that.
Maybe it was tinted. Tinted windows. You know what I mean? A tinted car.
I don't know. I feel like
100%.
more information would come out. Like, I think, it's like with conspiracy theories. I guess it's a pretty small conspiracy theory. You know what? I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm going to wait. I'm going to go. I want to hear. I will wait for the reunion because I'm sure she will be pressed, and I'm going to see how her story sounds.
Yeah. So Danielle finally pulls Melissa aside, and Melissa's like, "Why do you want to get a drink?" Like she doesn't know what's about to happen, right? So Danielle's like,
all right, so I found out some information in Ireland, and it affected my mind, okay? It affected me on a level where I was like, fuck. So listen, I just want you to know what's being said.
And Melissa's like, "About me?"
Okay.
She's like, "Yeah."
And I just want to say that Danielle prefaces this by saying, you know what, when I'm talking to Melissa, I have no strategy whatsoever. It's like, oh, really? Like, I don't think of the word strategy, and I think of Danielle on the show. Let's be honest. And then she goes, in my mind, I'm going to tell her. And she's going to say, oh, God, that's not true. Thanks for telling me. Let's have a shot at the bar, and we'll go back to the party. We're going to have fun. It's like, you are like a literal idiot. Like a total idiot. It's hilarious.
So you're coming to do Teresa's dirty work to Melissa, and she's going to embrace you.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what I like about her. She really doesn't seem to understand what she's doing. She doesn't seem to understand that she's being used in this way, and because normally you think, okay, she knows she's being used in this way, and she's going to really love sticking it to Melissa because she's on Team Teresa. But I don't believe that. I think that she really doesn't know what she's doing, and that she really does like Melissa.
I think she's really she's deeply confused by so much of what's going on. She doesn't even understand how a house can have 3 stories.
It's like that show Jury Duty, where it's about a jury and everyone's an actor except one person. Like, everybody knows it's a big fucking joke except one person. Danielle is that person in this show where she just doesn't get it.
I think so.
So, Melissa, so she goes,
yeah, all right, so this girl, Laura, right? She's been saying that Margaret's friend caught you in the back seat of a car kissing the guy. And then he went back and he told Margaret, and Margaret told Laura, and that is what Laura is saying. And thank you, finally got it out. Jesus Christ, that was weighing on me.
Yeah, and Melissa's like, okay, well, if we're going to be really honest here, the answer is yes, I do belong in the 20s. But furthermore, let's be really even more honest than that, okay? I've already heard the story. And do you know how?
Tell me how. How'd you know? What?
Danielle's like, wait, how? I don't understand. How did anyone? Because she said she promised that Teresa and Jennifer would be quiet. You could see she's so like, what? And Melissa goes, through my husband. Do you know? Yeah, that was a deserved. It was a 20s, so it was more like a auga.
It was from the 20s, so it was more of a like.
Do you know how I heard it through my husband, Danielle? Are these too many questions from you? I can see your eyes rolling in the back of your head. Is this going too fast?
I want to have one of those bacon stuffed nothings now. I gotta have bacon wrapped nothing. I gotta try that.
Well, he found out because his sister, that's Teresa, are you following still? His sister called him over to her house secretly without me to tell him the story behind my back.
Yeah. And how dare you tell my husband that I would cheat on him? And she's like, it's a pretty fucked up sister-in-law to have, isn't it, Danielle? And Danielle's like, She's like, so
you're talking.
She's like, you're saying this based off some stranger woman who wants to hurt Margaret based on no facts, no anything? I mean, did she just think he was going to pack his bags and leave me? I mean, what is wrong with you? First of all, I have to say, that's a good sister. And listen, I think all parties involved on the show are morons, and I'm on team nobody, honestly. But if I thought my sister's husband was cheating on her, I would not get them together and say, I love you both so much. And I heard a rumor that Roger was cheating, or, that your husband was cheating. But I would call my sister and be like, hey, I heard a rumor that your husband was cheating on you. What do you want to do? Should we hack into his computer? What the fuck?
You know what? I think you are right. I don't think that Teresa said it that way. Furthermore, here's where I find it to be more problematic. Not problematic like me saying travelers are all grifters. Problematic like the logic.
It's not another Irish travelers moment.
No. here's where her logic falls apart for me, is that the moment a rumor bubbles to the surface about Teresa, and if like Melissa spends 3 nanoseconds not shooting it down, Teresa's like, wow, you're supposed to be my sister. Family's everything. It's supposed to be loyalty.
True.
You don't even shoot down the rumor. And now a rumor comes to Teresa, and she doesn't say, well, that's obviously bullshit, and you shouldn't be spreading those rumors about my sister-in-law. She says, I knew it. I knew it. I'm going to tell my brother, and we're going to save my brother. So, like, I agree. If you hear rumors, you should be like, hey, listen, there's a rumor going around. It's fucked up. How do you want to handle it? But I don't think this is a normal situation.
Okay, I agree with you, first of all.
I agree with you.
I 100% agree with you. But there's a couple more points here that shows how right and how wrong they both are. Because then my mind changes now, because Melissa says, no, what she should have done is she should have called us both over, and say, this is what I heard. I know Melissa would never do something like this. Okay, so I believe that that's correct. But also what Teresa could have done was done it on camera. She could have called Joe and told Joe on camera to humiliate you, and she didn't. She did it with no cameras rolling. Yeah. And had Joe over in private, because what do you do in this situation? Like, you have all this information. Like, how are you gonna disseminate that? What if Melissa did cheat? Listen, it's not beyond the realm of possibility that anybody's a fucking cheater. We're human beings. We're all scumbags at the end of the day. So she doesn't know that Melissa doesn't cheat, and she doesn't want she doesn't want Melissa to automatically be able to shut it down if it's true. So.
You know what? She did do a little bit of a solid by doing it off camera. I will concede that. But I just think that, like, I think what always gets me about Teresa is, as they say later on, the double standards are so crazy. Yes. Well, and that's where I always get annoyed. It's almost like, it's almost the other stuff it's like, it's irrelative. It's not irrelevant. It's irrelative. It's the relative. Oh my God. I'm talking like Danielle. But it's just the double standards drive me crazy.
He used to be my brother, but now he's a relative.
He's a relative. Irregardless, I don't want to talk about this irrelative experience anymore.
Okay, so then Danielle's like,
but listen, I'm sure she don't want it to be true.
And she goes, oh, please, I've been accused of being a stripper. And then we see a clip of, I know your sister-in-law, Melissa. She actually worked for me at a gentleman's club in Elizabeth. And then we go back to Melissa. I was accused of doing stuff in parking lots. And then we see Melissa going, you had dinner with my sister-in-law and told her I was meeting my ex. And then the lady goes, well, you did meet your ex.
And I've been accused multiple times. She said multiple times, your wife will leave you for a richer man. She said that multiple things she said multiple things that we have let go in our life. And
we also see a clip for that one, though, because we see Teresa telling Jacqueline,
yeah, like one of the first times I met Melissa, she was like I ain't marrying a poor guy. I ain't stupid like my two sisters. Like she's a gold digger. You know what I mean? Like
So all of these clips, I have to say, I understand that all of these clips are of Teresa just being fucking downright wrong and evil, okay? But I will also say, Teresa tried to be nice to you on your first scene of the show, and you guys were the one who started that whole scene with Teresa and told her to fuck off and this and that. So don't act like you came on here being all nice. Also, I believe all of these rumors. And, hey, I don't care that you were a stripper. I say more fucking power to you. I wish you would Erica Jane it, if it's true. Maybe it's not. But in my mind, I wish you would be like, fuck yeah, I was. I paid my way through college. Like, I went through a tough life supporting myself, and look at me now. I'm an educated, or whatever. I believe
let's not go that far, Ronnie. Let's not go that far.
I stopped. Did you? My brain was like, stop. My brain wouldn't let me finish.
That's a relative point, yeah.
But I believe that maybe she was cheating on her or meeting with her ex. That was another thing that was all over, where one of her exes was coming out claiming that he was having an affair with Melissa and she's a fucking liar and he was bitter now and putting all this stuff out online. I mean, I believe that she said, I'm not dating a fucking poor man. I don't think saying that's bad either. But I kind of believe, I was like, are these clips supposed to support your story? Because it's not supporting it. It's really just making a biopic for me. Is what it's doing. Thank you.
We'll just never get to it's like Rashomon. Rashomon, like in Jersey Rashomon. So Melissa tells us, she's like, I had no intention of confronting her about this. Joe doesn't believe it. It's bullshit. And because I wanted to let her have a peaceful 6 months leading up to her wedding, I decided I would simply confront her through small passive-aggressive barbs instead.
Well, how long do they shoot this show? Don't they only shoot this show for 3 months? They don't shoot this show for 6 months. It hasn't been 6 months. When we started this season, it wasn't 6 months before Teresa's wedding, which means this would have been while last season was airing and the reunion and all of that.
I think
stuff,
it was
time-wise.
I think it started in April. and I think it ended around September. So I think that's about 5 months or so. You know, it was enough time for Margaret to break her wrist and to get in and out of a cast.
So this is where we really see how shady Teresa is. This is some old ass tea. Teresa tried it. She called Joe over, told him. Joe said, I don't believe you. I'm staying with Melissa. You're full of shit. So Teresa didn't get her way, so she told Jen? Is that what I'm getting?
No, I think no, she and Jen talked to Laura together, but they didn't get anywhere with Joe, so then they had to find a patsy, and that's literally what Melissa says. Melissa goes, okay. She's like, so look what happened. She has her minion make me look bad in front of everyone, so everyone can hear the words, Melissa's a cheater, and I am done. Because Melissa knows exactly what's going on. Like, it's so obvious. I mean, Danielle could have just shown up in like blue overalls and yellow face paint and like a glass over her eye or whatever. It's like she's the most obvious minion.
Minion. I was like, Mr. Peanut. Where did I get Mr. Peanut?
That's Mr. Peanut on his off day. Mr. Peanut's like, when I'm not being dapper, I like to get into overalls.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, so she's a minion. And but here's also why I can't believe anything coming out of Melissa's mouth, because she says something like this. She goes, do I look like somebody who kisses somebody in a car, by the way?
Not a strong argument, Melissa.
Like, yes, like who
Melissa,
doesn't look like somebody who would kiss somebody in a car? Is kissing somebody in a car, is that like only like hunchbacks do that?
Who would kiss someone in a car in New Jersey?
Come on.
So
Danielle's go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Danielle has a larger agenda, right? Ultimately, Danielle just wants to roast Margaret. So Danielle's trying to right the ship now. So she's like, listen, I don't believe any of it, but why is Margaret not getting any of the heat? Like, why is no one ever addressing the messenger? Why is no one addressing the messenger? I'm like, by the way, I hate to break it to you. You are the messenger right now.
You are the messenger. Okay, and nobody addresses the messenger because the messenger takes the addressed items to people that they're addressed to. Do you understand?
Literally demanding that they shoot the messenger of Marge while simultaneously saying, don't shoot the messenger for the rest of the episode.
She's saying, don't shoot the wrong messenger. Shoot the messenger, just the one I don't like.
She's like, keep UPS, take out DHL.
Get rid of, fucking THL's never been worth a shit. Get rid of them.
They're yellow trucks.
So this is so funny because it's multifaceted, because now Melissa's like, thank you for finally giving me the ammo I need on Teresa to finally yell at Teresa. She's like, no, wait, you're supposed to yell at Marge. Like, so they've tricked you.
So
Jennifer has tricked you. And literally, Jennifer just told her, the only reason I told you that is to show you that Marge is the one behind all this, right? So Jennifer just told her, you're doing this to get at Marge. So she's aimed at her for Marge, and she ends up doing, it's so good.
It's actually a hilarious scheme, because the whole Laura gossip thing, Teresa uses it to go against Melissa, Jen uses it to go against Marge, and it's all so amazingly flimsy. So then Margaret's across, like, 3 feet away. She's like, I see her name. I'm thinking, this is crazy, guys. Guess what? Danielle's not crying. It's shock. And you know what? When she's not crying, she's saying my name over and over and over again. What's she saying? What is she saying about me? She's saying my name over and over again.
You know, but it's nonstop. And I'm going to take her fucking Amazon dress and wrap it around her fucking throat.
So Jen Fest is like, well, why don't you go over there? Leave me and Frankie Jr. alone, if you know what I'm saying.
Okay, so she goes over and she's like, all right, I'm hearing my name. What's going on here? What is going on? Melissa's like, oh, nothing. Just talking about Laura, talking shit about me. It's just, why are you talking about someone you don't even fucking know. Okay, why? And Danielle's like, but I heard something. She goes, oh, you heard something? Really? From who? You heard something from who? First of all, why are you talking about someone you don't know? She's like, well, someone said something about my friend, so I'm relating to what they said about my friend. She's like, oh yeah, who said something about your friend? Who did it? You are exasperatingly stupid.
She goes, yo, don't shoot the messenger. Mark goes, you're the messenger. I'm sorry. She goes, you're not a messenger. You're a shit starter. You're a stupid little shit starter.
And then Danielle's like, did you come at me? And she's like, get your finger out of my face. And she's like, I'll do whatever I want. Listen to me. Everyone does your fucking doing. That's what everyone does. They do your fucking doing.
Margaret's like, get your finger out of my ass. And
she goes, so the way your costume is, low budget Betty. That's what you are, a low budget Betty. I was like, don't you have a whole low budget? Like, you're in Tuesday mornings. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Isn't your point to have a low budget brand? But I still liked it.
And I like they're like screaming. Margaret is screaming. They're screaming at each other. And outside, Dolores goes, something's going on. You think Dolores?
Dolores is so funny. So they're screaming in each other's face. I mean, Marge has known this is coming, right? She knows Laura told them. She knows all this stuff. Melissa already knew all of this stuff. So they've just been like, I guess they're not going to use it this season. I mean, it's so funny because she's just mostly exasperated that they're talking about this again. It's like 6 months later, right?
But that Danielle like inserted herself into this Laura stuff and then is regurgitating it without any frame of reference. Like, it is literally the definition of hearsay. Like, the Laura thing is already hearsay, and then it's just filtered on through to Danielle. And Margaret's like, this person is too dumb for me to be breathing the same air as her. This is ridiculous.
So Danielle is screaming at her, this is your drama, and everything comes from you, so don't shoot the fucking messenger, because it's you. And she goes, you are a disgusting little wannabe. And everyone's like, oh, Marge. I like whenever Marge says something, like, Marge, how dare you?
They're always like horrified.
Yeah, and Danielle goes, shut the fuck up.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite thing that Danielle says, because she says this as if this is like the worst thing that someone could do. She goes, you pick and choose your own battles. That's what you do. You pick and choose your battles. I'm like, I think that's usually considered a good thing.
That's literally a cliche for a reason. Okay.
Do you know what that phrase means? It means that you don't lose your mind over stupid shit.
Melissa is holding Marge back because Marge is losing her shit now on this lady, right? So Melissa's like, and by the way, okay, Danielle did this, but those two are the ones who met up with Laura in the first place. They're the ones talking behind our backs and telling Danielle. Danielle's just saying it to our face. And then she goes, you guys, over to Teresa and Melissa. Or Teresa and Danielle. She goes, you guys, losers, you're such fucking losers. Does the L, and Teresa goes, what are you doing on your head there? Why are you making that hand? She goes, because you're a loser.
Why are you making a J?
It's an L. Ow. This, I think, was actually a significant moment for Melissa Gorga, because in all of her confrontations for 10 years with Teresa, it's always been Teresa is sort of the aggressor, and Melissa's like, Melissa's approach is always like, why me? Please, I'm begging you to stop. No, you're being wrong. This time she's kind of like, fuck her. And Melissa is really the aggressor going forward. And I think it was like a totally different dynamic in this fight.
So she's screaming, loser! And Teresa's like, excuse me! And she's like, yeah, because you called my husband to your house to tell him I was in a car with a guy. And she goes, wow, wow, wow.
You see what she just did? You see what she just did?
And wow. And they just start going, wow, 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 at each other.
It was like not unlike Marlo and Sheree in Africa. Beep, 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 beep. So Dolores is like, she's like, I've been in enough fights in my day to know when something's going to escalate. This is bad. If only we had focaccia alligators to calm the situation.
Yeah, someone, get one of those flying focaccias on a string and give it to these girls.
Can we get the dancers up here to dance out all the tension?
So now they start repeating, look at you, look at you, look at you, disgusting, you're disgusting. So Teresa walks out to get away from Melissa. Melissa just keeps following her to keep fighting. And she's like, what happened, Teresa? You called my husband over to your house? And they're just calling each other disgusting. And Teresa's like, get off of me, get off of me. And then now Louis running over with his purple face. And Melissa's like, you wanted to tell him I was in the car with the guy out by himself? What? Come on.
Danielle is yelling in the background.
Margaret's friend get it. It's Margaret's fault. It's Margaret.
She's trying so hard.
She's like, that's fine. You're supposed to be yelling at Margaret. So then Teresa tells us, she's like, first of all, it wasn't his sister. It was Louis, all right? Louis is like, I want to tell your brother that this is coming from Margaret so your brother can get in front of it, right? And I never repeated that to no. Okay, so that's okay for you, Teresa. So it's okay if Louis does that to get in front of it. That is literally exactly what Marge told you in episode 1 last year about Louis. This stuff is happening with Louis. It's all over the blogs. Everyone's seen the video at this party. Everyone has literally seen it. You've got to address it and get in front of it, or you're going to look like an idiot. Get in front of it. And she's like, oh, yeah, he told me to get in front. She's literally trying to ruin this woman for 2 years because of that one thing. And now she's saying it like it's no big deal that she's doing it.
Yeah. But by the way, also, I don't believe Louis was just calling Joe over as a courtesy. Because that's the thing. If it were a courtesy, like, hey, there's a vicious rumor out, so you guys to get ahead of it, they would call Melissa over also. But that's not what they call. They were calling Joe over to be like, Melissa's cheating on you. You got to figure it out.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, they're also going against Mark, trying to turn him against Margaret, because of course Louis hates Margaret too. It's not just Teresa who hates Margaret. Like, they are going to get revenge on fucking Margaret. That's it. Right. You know how Teresa is.
So Teresa is like,
yeah, Melissa called me a loser.
And Louis is like, loser? She called you a loser? Who called you a loser? And Teresa's like,
yeah, she called me a loser. She was like, didn't you tell your brother? Or like, what? Like, didn't you tell your brother?
And Louis is like, I told him. I told him. So then Paul's like, he's like,
all right, everyone, let's stay calm. Can we get the dancers up in here and some whiskey? Let's calm everyone down, please. Do we have any more bacon wrap? Nothing.
Then Louis goes, I don't give a fuck, because I'm a winner, and she's winning too. And he's purple and looking just fucking crazy. And Teresa's like,
I'm not even entertaining her. She wants attention. I ain't giving it to her.
So, by the way, really can't underestimate how crazy Louis looks in this moment. Like, really cannot.
He's trying to be normal, and he's like purple, and he's like looking around and smiling and going, winner. And then he's grabbing potato chips and like opening his mouth real big and throwing one in and then eating it real big, like he's in a chip commercial trying to prove that he enjoys this chip. I mean, he is losing it.
He is crazy.
So good.
So Gorka's like, hey, what just happened? And Melissa's like, she tried to tell me that, like, the kissing in the car thing, and I laughed. Which, by the way, Melissa, you did not laugh. You think I don't know this story? I've known this story for 6 months. It's a fucking joke. And Rachel all of a sudden appears again. This is what Rachel does. She just appears out of nowhere, and she's like, you sat down with Louis and Teresa? So then Gorka tells his story. He's like, hey, I got a call from Louis. He said, what are you doing? I need you right away. So I go to her house, and Louis says, hey, we heard Melissa cheated on you. I go, guys, you got the wrong girl.
And Melissa's like, we're protecting her all the time. We've got to stop protecting Teresa. And then Marge is like, you know what these three did, what they're doing, and this stupid girl, okay, this stupid bargain basement of an Amazon costume idiot brought this shit up. And what they're doing, all three of them, that is disgusting. That is a non-Snickers creamer right there. And I was like, oh.
She said the word disgusting. She is so mean. She is so mean and nasty. What a nasty, mean woman. So Margaret, Jennifer,
she's like,
and
listen.
Daniel.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you do it. You do it.
No, you do it.
I want you to do it. I want you to do it. Listen,
I want you to know you were going to do it.
I'm giving you the spirit of Lexi to power you through this next line. I want you and Lexi and Joe say, do it. Do it, Brownie.
Don't fuck my husband, because the entire internet saying you're fucking him. Don't do it. Okay, so Danielle and Jen wouldn't do anything behind Teresa's back. I think Teresa knew it's going to happen. I think she looks extremely nervous, and I think that's why she was late tonight. I was like, okay, you had me until that's why she was late. I'm like, I don't think
She's always
Teresa
late.
was like, yeah, she wasn't like timing it or anything. She's just Teresa, you know?
Yeah.
She doesn't know
So-
what time is.
Yeah, Margaret turns to Teresa and goes, you know what? You should have told these fucking girls to shut up. And Teresa goes, but it's my wedding. I said, well, you know, you just...
It's not currently your wedding.
It doesn't make any sense. And Margaret goes, you just let your fucking girls do this right now. So the producer asks, did Jennifer tell you that she told Danielle? And she goes,
yeah. And I told him not to say it. Like, but you can't tell people what to do, you know, unless you want to tell them, like, to defend you and, like, defend the family. But otherwise, if they're going to talk shit about Melissa, you can't control that.
So meanwhile, this party is bedlam, okay? Louis looking purple. He's still eating chips in an insane way. Everyone's freaking out still at this party, right? And then Danielle just goes,
Why is she Captain America? Shit gets deflected off her. Huh? Can someone tell me that? It's Margaret.
Captain America.
screaming, blowing out her mic. And Marge goes, oh my God, even Jennifer said that girl's fucking crazy. What is wrong with you? And Jennifer tells us, why would this woman lie? Why would she fabricate such a specific story with names and dates and places? Oh, really? Name a name, name a date, and name a place. Because you have not done that yet, and neither has Laura. Otherwise, we'd love to hear it. I would love to hear it.
Yeah, but also don't forget, Laura's the one who spread gossip that said Laura was claiming that Margaret was encouraging Melissa to date a baseball player. when all Margaret said was, Joe, he doesn't realize you can have any ball player you want. But Laura turned that into Margaret wants her to date a baseball player. So it's like, right. I think I believe that Margaret said something to her, but it was probably just like passing, like, oh, you know, Melissa, I saw she was in the backseat of a car. She was with very handsome man. You know, they would make great babies. And then Laura's like, they were making out trying to have a baby. Go tell everyone.
So Jen is like, you told her all this shit about everybody, Marge. Come on, be honest about it, baby. And Marge is like, I told her nothing, which is also untrue because it was one of her friends. So of course Marge talks shit literally about everybody and everything. That's what Marge does. And Jen's like, well, she sung like a baby bird, baby. She fucking sung like a bird.
Literally, she is from the 20s.
She sung like a bird.
Margaret goes, oh, okay, so you're on your revenge tour. And she goes, you don't know how to own your shit, says Jennifer Aiden, right? So then it cuts to Joe Bonino, and Bill. He's like, so you want to talk them down? Let's talk them down.
Yeah, good luck.
Our wives are out of control.
So Jen is now screaming at her, you can't own your shit, and you talked about Melissa, you talked about my husband's infidelity. And Margaret goes, okay, you know what, you're right, Jen, you're so upset about last year still. And she goes, yeah, well, my daughter wants to be a fucking therapist. My daughter wants to help people for a living now, thanks to you. And Margaret goes, oh, well, you know why? Because Bill slept with the subordinate, and she knew that. And then it goes, boom, and everyone goes, Margaret. Okay, I'm sorry. Jennifer doesn't get to orchestrate this whole thing all fucking year and then come at Margaret again. And then Margaret says something. And now it's like, oh my God, that was so fucking low. I think the whole doing this in the first place was low of Margaret. I didn't like that at all in the first episode. I've said it a million times. But this, I mean, come on, you guys. Jennifer's starting it. What's not computing?
That's a loaded question with this cast, okay? So Jennifer goes, how dare you? And she loses her mind. She literally
have to hold her back.
She literally is like out of some movie right now. And she is shaking and she goes, she threw herself at my husband. She threw herself at my husband.
And Bill's dragging
Bill's
her away, and she's like, "You're a nasty person, Margaret." Oh my God! Listen, mess with the Marge. You got to be able to handle the iced coffee, baby. Okay.
Yeah,
so listen, I think we need to take a moment because Marge came to our live show last week in New York.
I was just about to say what I think you're about to say.
And people are posting like the picture we put on Instagram and being like, "Oh yeah, well now it all makes sense. Ronnie and Ben are friends with Marge, and that's why they kissed Marge's death." No, listen, we're not friends with Marge, okay? Here's the interactions we've had with Marge. When she first came on the show, she said, like your recaps. We said, thanks, okay? Then later, she got her own podcast. We went on it and talked to her and Lexi for an hour. We didn't talk before. We didn't talk after. Since then, we've asked her to do the crappies multiple times, and she sent in videos and stuff. And then that night was the first time we met her in person. We don't know her number. We don't go to dinner with Marge. We're not best friends with Marge. We only speak to Marge because we do like her on the show. Notice we don't have anybody on our show that we talk shit about hating. We don't bring anybody on we don't like. We naturally like her. That's why she comes on the show. Now, I get why that would be annoying to you as a listener if you hate Marge, and we both like Marge.
Yeah.
But don't accuse us of not being fair because we've met Marge a few times.
Also,
that's fucking ridiculous, and we're allowed to like people.
Yeah, by the way, also, I don't even think we have to even defend any of that, because the truth is, I have been a Marge fan like for a long time, and I'm allowed to be a Marge fan just the way people who hate Marge and love Teresa are allowed to love Teresa. Like, you can love who you want, and this is not the New York Times, okay? This is not some sort of like high, we do not have some sort of code of conduct of like, we must promise unbiased, fair report. We're not reporters. We're not reporting. We are watching stuff and saying our reactions. I'm a fan of Margaret. I think she's smarter than a lot of these people. I'm also, I think that Jen Aiden is like a disaster. I'm a fan of her on this show.
I'm a huge fan of her on this show.
Okay.
Yes.
And like, you know what? But people are like, now I figured it out. Like, what did you figure out? That I'm a fan of Margaret? Congratulations. I am a fan of Margaret. Wow. And
you saw an Instagram picture with everybody smiling backstage. Whoa, you solved the puzzle.
And it does inform my opinions about her and the situation. Congratulations. It's a podcast. It's a podcast about opinions. It's about people who watch shows and they're fans of some, not fans of others, and they react and we talk about it and we laugh and we fight. I mean, what is not to get?
Listen, I believe in being yourself, and I identify as a bisexual, okay? I'm a biased person. Yeah. That's it. Okay, so anyway, back to the show. So fucking victim Jen.
I feel like I just addressed Danielle. I feel like that was Danielle who was complaining to us.
It's all Jen. Like, you mean to me, baby? But, no, it's just because the people on the Jersey we talk about all the time just get so angry. It's like, you guys, calm it down. Like, we're just here to make fun of it. If we're too biased, that's like, welcome to a podcast. Like, what do you want me to fucking tell you? So now Rachel is going, what just happened? What just happened? So then Bill and Jen are going downstairs, and Bill's like, I'm sorry I put you in this situation. You don't deserve this. And Teresa's like, where you going? Who cares? I'm not on.
So then Jen tells us, fuck you, Margaret. You are disgusting. You're a filthy cheater. Not my husband. He didn't cheat. He just happened to be standing there aroused while a lady seduced him, threw herself on him, and it wasn't his fault that he was aroused. He was already aroused. It wasn't his fault they had sex, baby.
Yeah, you're the filthy cheater, not my fucking husband. Okay, Jen. So then Melissa's like, great party move, Danielle. Great move, girlfriend. And she goes,
hey, if you come at me any other way with me, trying to have anything but good intentions.
And Rachel's like, well, who told you in the first place? She goes,
it doesn't matter. Margaret said it to Laura, and nobody talked behind your back.
Oh, my God.
Margaret's like, they talked behind your back because they want to hurt you. And Danny goes, no. When we were in Ireland and it was told to me, I was like, dear Jesus, why the fuck did I even ask about it? I said to my husband, I hope this isn't even true. And Melissa's like, so that's what you think? Do you think that this actually happened? And Danielle's like, well, Laura's saying it. So all of a sudden, Laura is just like automatically correcting what she says.
So then the other ladies are like, who cares? Who's Laura? Why would you believe some random thing from somebody you've never met? Like, this is crazy, right? So then Melissa's still going off about how Louis and Teresa called her husband over secretly. And then Louis's like, oh, yeah, I did call Joe. And you know what? I called Joe a lot of things. You hear that? I called him. I did, I did. And Teresa didn't call him. I'm a man. I got no problem. Because Bo Deedle knows shit about everyone in this room. Bo Deedle. Ever hear that name?
Why is
Bo
he?
Deedle office is calling. Bo Deedle knows some shit.
Why is he invoking Bo Dietl in the middle of this? I was like, wait, Bo Dietl? This is where this goes. Louis like, yeah, Bo Dietl. Bo Dietl knows everything in this room. I was like, congratulations, Bo Dietl, as someone who had guest appearances on the Imus radio show, knows stuff about people.
Oh my God! So I didn't know who this was.
I know because my dad used to listen to
like,
Imus when I was a kid, so Bo Dietl was always on. I was always like, Bo Dietl, Bo Dietl.
Oh my! Isn't he from like Goodfellas? Let me see. Bo Dietl. He's a retired American retired NYPD police detective, a media personality, and actor. Dietl is the founder and CEO of Bo Dietl and Associates. Blah blah blah.
He's a private investigator. Well, I guess Louis says that also.
Yeah. He had a autobiography called One Tough Cop. The Bo Dietl story, and it was made into a film called One Tough Cop, starring Stephen Baldwin as Bo Dietl. Wow, that's pretty big.
Wow.
And the plot in Abel Ferrara's crime drama Bad Lieutenant is inspired by Dietl's 1981 investigation of the rape of a young nun.
You know who Stephen Baldwin's son-in-law is? Justin Bieber.
There you go. Nothing to do with anything, but I'd love to know it.
But it's just like a funny thing to think about.
Yeah, he's also in 3 Martin Scorsese films. He's the detective who arrests Henry Hill in Goodfellas. He's himself in The Wolf of Wall Street, and he's a labor leader and mob boss Joseph Glimko in The Irishman. Wow, so Louis coming out with the big guns. So he's saying that this guy, he's used to get information on everyone in this room, which, by the way, you guys, is the worst because Marge has an arsenal, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. But Bo Dietl, private investigator, like a top-of-the-line private investigator who's so famous he's been in Scorsese films, that's not an arsenal.
Right. So Rachel's like, so he says Bo Dietl knows everything about the people in this room? And it's like, come on, man, just let them fight. You're 2 days away from your wedding. He's like, I know. Now he's purple. And Melissa, so he's finally getting Louis to walk away, and Melissa sees Louis walking away. So she goes, hey, why are his eyes bugging like that? Hey, Louis, why do your eyes look like that? They're bugging.
I mean, it is a question on top of everyone's minds. I don't think even Bo Dietl can get to the bottom of that.
By the way, best episode. I know I'm hard on Melissa. I have to give Melissa credit here. Best Melissa Gorga episode in seasons.
That's what I'm saying.
Nice work.
She was like, I mean, she came hard. You saw Teresa ran away, and Teresa couldn't say anything. Like, this was the first time I really feel like Melissa controlled the fight against Teresa, because I think she was not concerned with being nice, maintaining an image, maintaining peace. She's just like, you know what? Fuck her right now. And it was a great Melissa.
And fuck her husband too. I loved that. So he's like, oh yeah, you better, you know what? And Joe's like, you better back the fuck up, man. Hey, is someone gonna hold my neck here like I'm gonna fight? Because I ain't fighting that fucking gorilla. All right, he's too big. So they hold him. Fuda puts his arm around him and holds him back. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna fight you. And then Louis like, I'm gonna fight you. And he's like, I'm gonna fight you.
Yeah, because Louis had said to Melissa, there's nothing fucking wrong, sweetheart. So that's when Gorga got all angry and everything. So they separate the two guys and everything. And Gorga's like, hey, Nate, hey, you don't gotta fucking hold him back. You don't gotta fucking hold him back. I'm gonna get him. Hey, you know what looks scary? A small guy in a page boy thing. Yeah, I'm gonna get him. Like, Joe Gorga's dressed like a newsie, by the way.
I know. It's like, what does somebody not give you the nickel for the paper? What are you so mad about?
I know.
So then we go to commercial, and the first commercial goes, Fidelity Bloom. And I thought that was so funny that they're just fidelity. It's like the first words you see out of this big fight is fidelity. So then we come back, and Louis going downstairs, and Joe's mad that he talked to his wife like that, and he goes, you don't get in my face like that, like the devil. I mean, who talks to women like that? I was like, you do. Literally, since you've come on this show. Do you just watch your first episode and then every episode you've been on since? You fucking weirdo. Last year you got in a huge. They had to hold you back from Jen Fessler.
Could you imagine Jen Fessler? Joe Gorga going after Jen Fessler.
They had to hold you back from Jen Aiden last year. Let's not pretend that you're so nice to women.
So
dum-dum.
Speaking of distorted realities, so Louis, who has just yelled at Melissa. Admittedly, Melissa was like, why are your eyes bugging? But Louis was like, yeah, sweetheart. He was pretty aggressive with Melissa, okay?
Yes.
He goes downstairs, because there's 10 stories in this house, and he's like, where's Teresa? Joe just started a fight with me. He's trying to fight with me.
No, he said Melissa. Melissa's trying to fight me.
Oh, no, well, no, he started with, first he said Joe, and then he said Melissa. He basically said both of them. But either way, he's making it sound like he did not come really hard at Melissa just then. I mean, even though Melissa was like needling him, Joe is defending his wife. Now, you know, of course, that brings in whatever. I don't even want to get into all stuff of like, well, man, like his masculinity defending women, blah, blah, blah. The point is, Louis is making it sound.
It's Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Louis is making himself sound so innocent in this situation here. And this is so fucked up. You know?
So Tree's like, oh yeah, then it gets blamed it on me, and that's happening right now with Melissa. And you know what? I don't give a shenanigan.
I'm not playing the shenanigan.
Sheena's like,
excuse me, but like that's so rude to malign my podcast in the middle of your fight.
So then Margaret is still furious and screaming at Danielle, you brought this on, you did this. And then Danielle stands up and she's,
you know what? You could kiss my fucking big fat planet!
and like turns around and grabs her ass.
Rodney, when you do that, it looks like you're falling into the bowl of meatballs behind you. Because you go back slowly, it looks like you're doing it's like the guy in Die Hard falling off the building, spoiler, but like you're landing in meatballs instead of Century City parking lot. You're like,
that's so funny. So then, let's see. So Marge is like, great job. You broke up a family. Great job. And then Danielle, who, so innocent and wants to protect families, is like, didn't her and Joe, didn't I hear that her and Joe actually cheated? Didn't they actually break up a family? Yes, she did. And actually made it part of her plot line in talking about the regrets about it and everything else. You fucking
it wasn't
did.
under
like
it
how,
was
why is this is just another example of everyone else is allowed to go low.
Everyone all exactly, and it's also very like facile logic, right? Like this idea, like she broke up a family. Yeah, but she, like you said, she has regrets. She's been open about it. She's not under the guise of actually trying to be like all about family, trying to bring people together. Like she's not saying things. She didn't break up the family because it was like, I just want to be a better friend to Joe. It wasn't. She didn't say things like that. So Danielle is. So then Marge was like, you know what? This is the reason your brother doesn't talk to you, you stupid fucking bitch.
Which also extremely low, It's like Jersey.
I mean,
it's like the bar just keeps lowering, It's just the bar just keeps lowering. So then Nate's like, look, listen, she was trying to look out for a friend. And Rachel goes, yeah, but maybe that should be done in a private moment. And Danielle goes, oh, yeah, but I could have done it in Ireland and I didn't. Yeah. There were even fewer people in Ireland. That would have been better. You waited until literally the whole cast and their husbands and the catering staff were here.
And this, once again, the whole bullshit of like, oh, just looking out for a friend, when that's what Rachel was doing with Margaret, but Danielle, it's like, but when Danielle does it, it's totally fine. So Rachel's like, I would not have picked this circumstance to share this information. I would have done it in private, but that's just me. I'm not Danielle. It's like, well, thanks, Rachel. Thanks for that insight of how you would do it. So Danielle's like,
I tried to be the best person here, and I don't feel bad about anything I did. I am no longer allowing Margaret to paint me as the bad guy. It's been all you all along, and I'm just the person to expose me.
You're literally... I can't tell if I'm like thrilled or exasperated by her idiocy right now.
I'm thrilled by it. I just loved it. I just love that it's an old storyline. Melissa knew about it. Marge knew about it. Teresa knew about it. They've already had it out. Melissa and Joe, it's like a non-issue. And Danielle is just in the middle of this party screaming about it.
Yeah.
Dead.
And she really thinks that she got to the bottom of something. And she like literally did not.
She does. She leaves there like, I did it. Like she's so proud of herself. Like she finally made it as a Real Housewife. The new Danielle goes 0 fucks. And Marge is like, you know what? That party was insane. That stupid person in a $5 dress doesn't care whose life she ruined. But you know, it was a good night. Overall, it was a good night. Did you enjoy it? I love the bacon wrap nothing. That was great.
Bacon wrap nothing was great. I put it on my finger. It's my new ring. So now we start getting some of like the end of the season updates. So Danielle and her brother still have not spoken, and she's focusing her energy on growing her bougie kids empire 1 to 2 at a time. Well, good luck with that. And then Danielle, the new Danielle gives 0 fucks. Oh, that's what she says. So then Then Margaret's like, Margaret is still living with Lexi and Nino. She's continuing to build her arsenal or extended family.
And Rachel officially adopted Jaden. So, okay, then the next day, Teresa with that fucking lighter again. She's like,
Quack, quack, quack. Ah, Mom.
It was just a piece of dried spaghetti. She's like,
Why won't this turn on?
So Jennifer Aiden comes over and Teresa's like,
I'm still shaking from last night, it did.
and then actually, I'm sorry, Jen is arriving and Teresa's saying she's still shaking, and then the doorbell rings. It's like bing bong, and Teresa goes,
Doorbell.
are you okay over there?
Doorbell.
Now, Ronnie, it looks like you're taking a ladder down into the meatballs. Okay.
sorry.
For those who don't know, we have custom backgrounds up today.
We yell
videos.
so much in these recaps that when I yell, I try and stay away from the mic. And like when I yell really loud, I push my chair all the way back and then I roll it back to the desk. But I've got a rug under me, so I keep pulling the rug, and I was stuck in the rug.
Wow.
So anyway, aren't you glad you asked? So then Jen comes over and she's like, I'm still shaking from last night, baby. And so they're talking about the wedding and how they can't believe it's supposed to be the happiest time in your life, but Melissa would try and ruin it, and they should feel horrible for treating you like that when you did nothing. First of all, Danielle said she was going to do it, and I said, please don't do it, please. I'm begging you, baby.
Teresa goes,
Well, I wish he would have, because somehow the finger always gets pointed at me just because it was my idea to talk to Laura and tell you to tell Danielle. It always gets pointed at me.
So then we go to Melissa's, and little Joey's jumping in the pool. I guess you have to be more specific on this show. Her son Joey's jumping in the pool, and then she gets a call, and it's Dolores. Dolores is like, hello, Melissa Gorga. It's Dolores Gitania. You know, the one from last night at my house. I would just like to say I feel very bad about what happened in my home last night.
as we all know, I'm referring to the fact that all those beautiful dancers accidentally danced into the Hudson River. So that was the tragedy.
Those little big-headed girls were never heard from again. Very sad night.
They were running away from Frank, to be honest. But I feel bad about what happened at my house. So Melissa goes, I knew Laura would say this stupid rumor. I've known it for 6 months, and I think they were just dying to tell me what happened. They were dying to let it out. And Laura's like, you mean Teresa and Louie? No, I mean the ghost of Robert What's-His-Face on Empty Nest.
I mean the ghost of the big-headed girls who clogged in front of your house. Who the fuck do you think I mean?
Richard Mulligan, by the way, was the reference I was going for that I forgot the last second, which sounded very strange.
So Melissa's like, yeah, that's why Joe's so mad at Teresa all season, because he's devastated. She just won't stop. And so then we go back. Oh, we go to Gorga, who's working on some terribly constructed home of the future. Mm-hmm. And he's like, okay, here's what you got to do. You know what? Put outlets in the sink, because that's where outlets go. Okay, guys, thanks for coming to check on me over here. I worked it. So listen, they told me about this rumor. They continue to push it. And you know what? Listen, there's no multiple men. And now they're telling me it's all sorts of men. They're saying, hey, did you hear the ice cream truck outside? Melissa fucked that guy. It's like nothing. They won't stop.
Yeah. And you know what? A couple days after, Gia calls me up and she's like, I heard what happened. We just think you can do better. Mommy thinks so. We all do. So I said to myself, am I around people who love me or people that want to hurt me? It's a fucked up situation. Sort of like this foyer I put into this house that's upside down.
It's really gross that Teresa has her kids involved in this crap. It's
It
really,
is.
really bad. That is really bad. Shame on
I
you,
agree.
Gia. Okay, you're old enough to know now. But I think she just graduated from
She
college.
just graduated
right?
this weekend. Yeah, from college.
So
congratulations.
Congratulations. But you're old enough to take the heat online from it. So good luck with that. But yeah,
Yep.
I just think it's kind of shitty overall. But this family definitely needs an attorney. So that was a good call.
Well, they're saying that the show, by the way, is on pause because it's so toxic right now between Melissa and Teresa.
I just think Bravo isn't really in a space where they can put a lot of Housewives on pause. I'm just going to say it. You guys are going to need to recast. You can't just keep not having things on TV, okay? Like, you need the show. So fire somebody. Let's keep it moving. Keep it moving. You guys did some great new casting. Fire somebody and let's go.
So
I don't want to hear you complaining.
Melissa's like, it has scum written all over it. Now look, 6 months later, Jennifer and Teresa knew exactly what Danielle was going to do. And Dolores goes, it doesn't make any sense to me. And Melissa goes, well, everything he's trying to say about me since I'm 24 years old, everything she's trying to say about me since I'm 24 years old, this is all her doing. I don't need to deal with toxic people that want to bring me down, even if they come in the shape of your family. Because oddly enough, when Joe does come, he does make a little family portrait with his semen. It's disgusting. And I tell him to stop every time.
The only toxic people that are my family that I'm with are my husband. That's it. So Dolores is like, so wait, are you saying you're not going to go to the wedding? Yes or no? She goes, that's when she does her, Dolores, how can I go celebrate? So Dolores is like, listen, if you don't go to the wedding, it's over. And she goes, it's been over, Dolores. And she goes, well, fine. Listen, I'm going to her house. I'm bringing an iguana made out of focaccia. And I'm going to say Melissa's not coming. Is that correct? Am I allowed to say that?
She literally says, if she asks me, do I think that if she asks me, do I think my brother's coming to the wedding? I will say no, right? And Melissa says, yes. Dolores is like, well, I'm sorry about everything. I feel bad about last night. I'm sorry you weren't able to see the dancers before they were swept off into the Hudson River. It was a very tragic moment, like I said. So Dolores,
listen, you just can't invite a bunch of Italians and then they get out of a car and they hear loud bangs. Those girls are eventually going to get shot. I should have warned Foley. We should have given them little sequined bulletproof vests.
I didn't even get to set one of them up with little Chrissy Manzo. So Teresa is. So now we go back over to Teresa's house, and she's like,
I just want to be happy, like I've been through enough.
So Dolores shows up, and she's like, ugh, Teresa, I'm sick for you and your brother. That's why I have this iguana focaccia. Take it, please. Enjoy.
So she's going like, I'm so sick for you, this family. What if they don't come? I can't. And Teresa and Jen are just smiling like they don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? So Dolores tells her about calling Melissa, and Melissa thinks that Teresa put everybody up to it. And Teresa's like, so Teresa tells us, I got plenty of opportunities to bring it up to there, but I kept my mouth quiet because, you know what? I knew. Look what she's doing. You know, she's going to put it on me. Because it was you, by the way.
Yep.
And then Louis
by the way, you
in.
kept your mouth quiet because you were like, okay, Jen, you commissioned Jen to go bring the information out so that way you could have your hands clean.
All right, you had Jen, you told Jen so that Jen could go tell Danielle. Like,
right.
So good. So Louis comes in, and he's all casual today. And Dolores is like, Louis, I don't feel good about last night, Louis. And he's like, yeah. Last night was dark. Oh, man, what did Melissa say? I heard Melissa down here. What'd she say? Huh?
Oh, yeah. Listen to what Melissa told Dolores.
Dolores says, well, she felt like Teresa was behind all that was coming out last night. Oh, no. She didn't call Joe. I called Joe, telling him, listen, this is what's going on, okay? I'm telling you to get ahead of it because your brother doesn't deserve to have something blow up in his face, okay? Because I'm not talking about gossip here, okay? It's like Bo Dietl. This is Bo Dietl level shit. This is the B to the D to the I to the E to the T to the L, okay? This is Bo fucking Dietl, who's like one of the most famous private investigators in the country. And you know what? He gave me all the information that I put into something that's not an arsenal, more like a dossier, which is much better than an arsenal, okay? And he knows everything.
So wait a minute. You're saying, I'm not talking about gossip. I'm saying one of the most famous private investigators in the country brought me information on each person in this group.
On spec, voluntarily, without being asked.
So here's the twist. We saw that Melissa knew this rumor the whole time. That's a twist, even though I called that weeks ago. But that was one of the twists I saw coming. But then the twist I didn't see coming is Teresa had the arsenal the whole fucking time. You guys are the ones holding the fucking arsenal on everybody.
Course.
You! Of course. It was you!
Well, it's all projection. Like everything that everything that Teresa has ever accused someone of is stuff that she is actually guilty of. That is like the definition, textbook projection. So Louis like, I didn't get to where we got by accident, so I surround myself with successful people, And Teresa's like, yeah, Bo Dietl's coming to the wedding. Like, Bo Dietl, is he gonna be a best man? Is he in the wedding party too?
Bo Dietl's giving me away because my brother wasn't doing it.
So the producer goes, so Teresa, what else did he tell you? And she goes, I don't know nothing. So she's not denying that he did have a detective. And by the way, this is because they went on Watch What Happens Live. Apparently, I read about it. And were denying it and saying, they were just trying to make a point. He didn't really get stuff from a famous private investigator. You two are such fucking liars. Oh my God.
So
and I love it.
And the producers asked Dolores what Louis is talking about, and Dolores goes, I don't know, but I don't understand why he's talking with a private investigator. You know who I'd talk with? A focaccia specialist. Okay, there's a whole world of animals that haven't even been explored yet.
Listen, a focaccia letter person has been in every party in Jersey at some point. They know everything about everybody in this town.
You know what? I care less about Bo Dietl and more about a focaccia version of Bo Dietl. Now show me that.
So Dolores is like, well, I asked if they'd come to the wedding. They said no. And Teresa's like,
yeah, because they hate me, all right?
Dolores just offered that up. It's like, wait, Dolores, you just exacerbated
Dolores is just
it.
trying to get through the scene. You know what I mean? And so Teresa's dealt with this 10 years, but she's not dealing with it in her new chapter. She's like,
yeah, I dealt with it with my ex and not in my new chapter, all right? Because everyone who knows me knows that family is the most important thing.
You don't speak to anybody in your family.
Kathy. She literally says, remember my cousin Kathy? It's like, done. I'm done. Everyone who knows me knows that family's so important that I cut them out no matter what if they don't agree with me.
Rosie, you don't fucking speak, or their mother. You don't speak to anybody, Teresa. So she's like, I've been dragged through the mud for 10 years, and that's enough. And then Melissa's like, she goes,
Melissa, she's wanted to get my brother away from me all this time, and she got a wish. She got my brother.
So here's Melissa's her wrap up. She's planning a housewarming at their new crazy bonkers going to collapse inwards house, and Teresa and Louis will not be invited. Chosen family and tacky chandeliers only.
And it's so funny because they have a chosen family battle, because Melissa and Joe on the night of the wedding, as you pointed out, I wasn't sure if it was the night of the wedding, but you were correct, okay? So the night of the wedding, we're posting all these Instagrams like, look at us with our real family, a chosen family. And it was all of Melissa's family and some of their friends. And they're like, yeah, you're my chosen sister, right? They were doing all this stuff to troll Tree and Louis the night of their wedding. And so they're saying chosen family, and Jen is saying only our chosen family's invited. So there we go, guys. Very, very sad season. Actually, I loved it, and I hope someone gets fired. Someone's got to go.
Well,
it's not going to be
Tree. We'll see what happens. But by the way, I'll just say, as a completionist, the final two updates, Jen and Bill continue to work on their marriage, and she hopes he'll start to prioritize their family over the pool house. And then Teresa and Louis are prepping for their wedding. They lost 2 guests, but they're gaining 5 pounds of hair. So think about that. Think about that, everyone.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it, everybody. Well, that brings us to the end of another season of Real Housewives of New Jersey. For those of you who are here on Crappens On Demand watching this on video, awesome. For those of you who aren't just listening, Crappens On Demand videos will start being available on YouTube a week after they were released. So you can go back and watch some old episodes as we start stacking them up. But if you want fresh episodes, join Crappens On Demand level over at patreon.com. We'd love you guys.
Bye, everyone.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Dana C. Dana Do. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Megan Berg, you can't have a burger without the Berg.
You're never alone with Lacey Monteleone.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino.
There ain't no problem that Sarah Salvia can't solve ya. The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors, the incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva. Erica, 500 Days of Summers.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender.
My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
We want to hang with Liz Lang. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.